Om Agajanana
Recording in
Padmakam
progress.
Gajananam Maharnisham Anekadantam Bhaktanam Ekadantam Upasmahe Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. நன்மையும் செல்வமும் நாடும் நல்குமே, திண்மையும் பாவமும் சிதைந்து தேயுமே, ஜன்மமும் மரணமும் இன்றித் தீருமே, இம்மையே ராம என்றிரண்டெழுத்தினார். Hari Om to all. We have already seen something about Ramayana when we saw our scriptures. Ramayana and Mahabharata are called itihasas. Thus it happened, that is to say, history books. Generally there is an opinion that Hindus don't record or didn't record their history. Contrary to that, we have a lot of books which tells about our history, and particularly these books are called history itself. Of course, there were literary works, so you will see there are exaggerations, parables, stories and so on. To present things in a interesting way, whatever they could adapt, they adapted. So sometimes one may feel, is it true? But even in the case of Puranas, many things are true. So what to talk about Ramayana and Mahabharata? People consider it is equal to Iliad, Odyssey of Roman Empire. Epics of the first epic in the world is Ramayana with around 24,000 slokas. Gayatri Chandas have 24 syllables, so these have 24,000 slokas. In the Ramayana, generally the Valmiki Ramayana is the first one. There was a saint called Valmiki. He was a robbery person. I hope I have told his story. Still, I will tell you once again. He was living in a forest. Whoever comes through the forest to cross, he will rob them. Once he happened to see a rishi. Then the rishi told him, what you are doing is very wrong. This is papa. So you should not be doing this. You should be earning in a rightful manner. He told, no. I am a very duty-bound person. I am doing this for my family. My mother, my father, my wife, my children and so on. I am so much dutiful person. And whomever I am doing this, they may occur the papa, not myself. Then the rishi told him, why don't you go and ask your people whether they will take part of your sin? Then he told, do you think you are very intelligent so that you can escape from me when I leave? Then the rishi told, no, you can tie me near my tree. and then you can go and ask and come back. And he tied him in that nearby tree, went back to home, asked father, mother, everybody. Father told it is duty of a son to take care of father. Why should father worry about what are the means he follows? It is up to him to follow the right means. Mother also told it is a son's duty to take care of his mother, and it is his duty to take care of the means also. Wife told the same. Then the Jnanodaya, dawn of the knowledge came to him. He returned back to the Rishi and worshipped him. He asked me some solution, how to get rid of whatever I did. Then the Rishi gave him Ramanama. Vishnu Sahasranama says, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane. Ramanama is a superior nama. Lord Shiva tells to Parvati this shloka. And according to Wise people, the Ramanama, the Ra comes from Narayanaya Namaha, the second letter of Narayanaya Namaha. Then Ma comes from Namah Shivaya, second letter of Namah Shivaya. So it is Hari Hara together the power, so it is very powerful. But the uneducated person, his name was Ratnakara. So he was unable to tell the mantra properly, Rama Rama. But he could only say Mara Mara. Then the Rishi allowed him, it is only the bhavana, not the mantra syllables, which protects a person, gives the result. So you can continue to say Mara Mara. There is one sloka, Mudho Vadadi Vishnaya. Who don't know, who is not a literate person, he may say Vishnaya Namaha, because he has heard that Ramaya Namaha, Kartikeya Namaha, Shivaya Namaha. So he said Vishnu. When it came to Vishnu, he said Vishnaya Namaha. Pandito Vadadi Vishnave. A learned person says Vishnave Namaha. Guru Guravaha. So Gurave Namaha. So he says Vishnave Namaha. Then there is one quarter part of the sloka, I don't remember. The final portion ends with like this. Bhavagrahi Janardanaha. The Bhagavan only sees the intent of the person. He don't see the grammar of what he is saying. Once it happened in Kerala, South India, there is a temple called Guruvayur. There were many saints around the temple. One among them was Eluthachan, father of literature, of Malayalam language. He is called Eluthachan, means father of literature. There lived another illiterate called Pundanam, if my memory is right. So, while reading Vishnu Sahasranama, he was reading Mara Prabhu. It should be read as Amara Prabhu, but he read it as Mara Prabhu. Then this person corrected him. That day, in the dream of Eluthacha, Lord Guruvayurappa came and said, I liked his bhakti than your vibhakti. Vibhakti means case of grammar. So it happened in their life. some hundreds of years back. It happened in Kerala. So the same way, this Rishi also didn't bother about much. He asked him, Ratnakara, you please continue to chant Mara Mara. When the time passed away, it became automatically Rama Rama. He sat on meditation, and he sat to that extent. Around him, anthill started growing and it covered him. So after some time, he got the result of his tapas. As he came out of the anthill, Valmikam means anthill. So he is called Valmiki, Tadvida. Like Vasudeva, who came out of Vasudeva is called Vasudeva, came out of Janaka is Janaki, came out of Himavan is Haimavati, Parvataraja is Parvati. The same way he is called Valmiki. So the Ramayana starts with this shloka. Om tapaswadhyaya niratam tapasvi vagvidamvaram naradam paripapracha valmikir munipunkavam. The Valmiki, the great saint, asked Narada the following question. So from Ratnakara's life, we know by effort we can become a great person. So in Hinduism there is no status based on the birth, because one may improve his status or one may degrade his status. It is told in Tirukural and Manusmriti and so on, in many books. Mahabharatam also, Eksaprashna and so on. It is stressed again and again. It is by his character, not by his birth, one's status is decided. So the question is, Konosmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan. Who is very good in nature? Who is very valor? Dharmajnasya kritajnasya satyavakyo dridavratah. Who knows dharma? Who is very grateful? Who is speaking the truth? Who follows his vows? Charitrena chako yuktah sarvabhuteshu kohitah. Very good character, loves every being. Vitvan kaha kas samartascha kascha eka priyadarshanaha. Who is very learned, who is very efficient, who is very good, pleasing to see. Atmavan ko jida krodha ditiman ko nasuyakaha. Who is control himself, who has control on himself, who won the anger, who is very good at looking, who don't have any jealous. Kasya bhipyati devascha jata roshasya sanyuke. Even the devas fear when he is in the battle. So these are all the questions he asked to Narada. somewhere I have read, he told, not all these character attributes will be with one person. So you can tell whoever is exalted in this. But Narada told him, all these characters are there in one person. Of course, there is another Sampratam Loke, means present world, present time. So Valmiki wanted to know, when he was living, who has these qualities. Then Narada told him, from Ikshvaku dynasty, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Abravit. In Gita you might have heard this. So from the Manu, Vivasvata Manu, Ikshvaku came. In his lineage there were many great kings. In that lineage came a person called Sri Ramachandra of Surya Kula, Surya Vamsa. He had all these qualities. Then he explained him the history of Rama. Then Valmiki did tapas with his yogic power. Of course, he might have collected many things because Rama was living then. So all the things put together, he wrote this Ramayana. Then there came an occasion, Rama's children happened to live in his ashram. They born there, and Valmiki only took care of them, and he taught whatever he wrote to those children. Then there was an occasion, Rama had to perform a yaga, Ashwamedha yaga. Rama's life started with the Ashwamedha yaga and ends with the life Ashwamedha yaga. So at that time, these children came to his Sabha courtyard and sang this Valmiki Ramayana. So the Valmiki Ramayana is very authentic because it is written by a person who was living in the time of Sri Rama, and it was listened by Rama, the whole story. So it is proof corrected also. If there were something wrong, Rama might have corrected. So very first-hand information, Ramayana. So this is what we are going to see, what is Ramayana. Interestingly, there is a opinion among researchers. Thiruvalluvar's Ishtadevata is Rama. How do you know? Did he said explicitly in his Tirukural? He didn't say explicitly, but there is a method in telling who is my Ishtadevata. So Thiruvalluvar followed that. He starts with Akara Mudala Ezhuttalla. The first Tirukural starts with Akara Mudala Ezhuttalla. According to the convention, the third letter should indicate his Ishtadevata. So the third letter is Ra. So it is the short form of Ra. So it is Rama is his Ishtadevata. This is one way. And according to me, Akara Mudala, when you write, it will come Ramu. Akara Mudala, Aka, then Ramu. Ramu Kridayam is the dhatu for Rama. From Ramu Kridayam dhatu, the Rama word came. So in that way also, Rama is his Ishtadevata. Then The first letter A is in Sanskritam, every letter has its own deity. The A denotes Vishnu. So Rama is avatar of Vishnu. So A in that way also. Then in astrology, nowadays there is a wrong thing going on, misunderstanding going on. When a child take birth in this nakshatra, then in this letter only they should be named. But it is not meant for that. The A letter here shows it is Kritika nakshatra. So from that, if you calculate second, fourth, sixth, then Rama's birth star will come. Punarvasu will come. So there is a method to calculate like this. Then also the A indicates Punarvasu nakshatra, which is Rama's Janma nakshatra. So that also makes us sure that Thiruvalluvar's Ishta Devata is Rama. Of course, he has written Sri Devi, Vaman Avatar and so on in Tirukural in different places. So there is by side. And in Ramakrishna Math, every Ekadashi they chant Sri Ramanama Sankirtana. Actually, the first president of Ramakrishna Math, called Swami Brahmananda, when he visited South India, he saw a tradition in the South India chanting Nama Ramayana. This is a book written by Sri Lakshmanacharya in the tradition of Sri Ramanuja Acharya. So when Swami Brahmananda saw this, he was very much impressed by this. He wanted this to be chanted in Ramakrishna Math, and he collected the details and started chanting in Ramakrishna Math, Belur. Then he printed it and sent the books to other maths and asked every math to follow. Every Ekadashi they should chant this. And even now this is a tradition followed in Ramakrishna Math. So that will be our outline for Ramayana. It gives in a very simple one-line story way. I read for you little bit. We are not going to read everything. To give you a glimpse of that. Om Shri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrugna Hanumat Sameta Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha. Shuddha Brahma Paratpara Rama Kalatmaka Parameshwara Rama Sheshatalpa Sukha Nidrita Rama Brahmanyamara Prarthita Rama Chandakirana Kula Mandana Rama Srimad Dasharatha Nandana Rama Kaushalya Sukhavardhana Rama Vishwamitra Priyadhana Rama. Like this it goes. Balakandam, Aranyakandam, Ayodhya Kandam, Aranyakandam, and in that same manner how Valmiki has written. So the Shuddha Brahma, Paratpara Brahma is Rama. He is embodiment of the time, Kalatmaka Parameshwara Rama. He is Vishnu himself, Shesha Talpa. Shesha means the Adi Shesha, which is the bird. According to Puja Swamiji, the first spring bird invented by Hindus, that is Adi Shesha, coiled snake. So the Shesha, he is lying down taking rest in the Shesha. So Shesha Talpa means bed. Shesha Talpa Sukha Nidrita. Ananda Shayana Perumal. Brahmadi Amara Prarthita Rama. So once Brahma and other devas went to him and asked him, prayed him that disturbances, problems caused by asuras are going limitless. We are unable to bear. Please come and save us. Then he took birth in the Surya Kula, Chanda Kirana Kula. That is Surya Kula, Mandana Rama. Srimad Dasharatha Nandana. He took his birth as a son of Dasharatha. Kausalya Shukha Vardhana Rama. His mother's name is Kaushalya. So this is how the Nama Ramayanam goes. So now we start the Ramayana. As I have already mentioned, in the Surya Vamsha and Chandra Vamsha are the two clans, dynasts in India. Rajaraja Chola of Tanjavur, he identifies the Chola kingdoms, identifies themselves in the Ikshvaku dynasty, Surya Kula. Pandyas identify themselves in the Chandrakula. So Dasharatha was one king. He didn't have male children. So he married Kaushalya, then Kaikeyi, then Sumitra. As he couldn't get any male child, then he decided to perform a yaga called Ashwamedha Yaga. The prarthana was getting a male child. Putra Kameshti Yaga also they say. So he already had a daughter called Shanta. He had a friend. Dasharatha had a friend. So he gave his daughter Shanta to that friend. And Shanta was later given in marriage to Roma. Rishyashringa Rishi. In Tamil we say Kalaikottu Mamuni. So he was a very powerful saint. So he was called to perform this Ashwamedha Yaga. He came and he performed and he caught a pal paisam. What they say in English? Milk. Paddy. English people don't know paisam, so it will be paisam only. So he shared with his wives, and first one portion he gave to Kaushalya, then another portion given to Sumitra, another portion given to Kaikeyi, then the remaining also given to Sumitra. So Rama born to Kaushalya, Bharata born to Kaikeyi. Sumitra had two sons called Lakshmana and Shatrugna. They were all living a peaceful life. Brothers were very much attached to each other. And Dasharatha's wives also didn't have any problems between them. Actually, Rama was a fascinating figure, and Kaikeyi took care of him as her son. She may worry about Bharata or not, but she always took care of Rama well. The world thought Kaikeyi took birth to Rama. So that much love and attachment was there between Kaikeyi and Rama. Then Lord Rishi Vishwamitra came to Ayodhya. He was doing some yaga, and the asuras were giving trouble to him. As he will be in the performance of yaga, though he is powerful, he don't want to fight with them. So he wants somebody to protect his puja. So with that intention, he came to Ayodhya. He asked Dasharatha, please give me Rama. Tharuvanattul yaniyettum tavavevi kidayura viruvarai chendadai kama veguliyena nirudaridai vilakkavannam nin pudalvar nalvarinum kariya chemmal oruvanai tandiditi. This is Ramayana, how it describes. So among the children you have, you give me the black one. So it is not that Dravidans are black, Aryans are white, Rama also black, Krishna also black, Draupadi also black, Vyasa also black. So it is a idiocy, that Aryan Dravidan theory. Even they cannot justify how these people, according to them, are Aryas, are black in complexion. So Dasharatha, after a long time, he didn't have any children. Then he was reminded of a curse. He was a very good archer. He can strike the point by hearing the noise. So once he mistook when a rishi's son was taking water from a pond. He thought it is elephant from the noise. Hearing the noise, that side he sent his arrow. The rishi's son was pierced by the arrow. So Dasharatha realized his mistake and he could not save him. So he went to the Rishi. The Rishi and Rishi Patni, both were blind. This boy was taking care of their mother. Shravanan, his name. And Mahatma Gandhi, when he was child, he saw this drama, and that taught him how we should respect our father and mother. So thereafter, Gandhiji was very much respectful towards his father and mother. He learned that value from this story only. So the Rishi cursed Dasharatha. The same way we are suffering from the loss of our son, you will also suffer the same pain in your life. one side Dasharatha was happy because at that time he was not having any son. So if the Rishi's Shapa has to come true, then he should have this son. So in that way he was happy. Later he got the son also. Now Vishwamitra is asking the son. So he remained of the curse. So he was unwilling to part Rama with Vishwamitra. Then Vishwamitra got angry. Then Vashishta came in between and he told Dasharatha, Kamba Ramayana says this context as எண்ணிலா வருந்தவத்தோன் இயம்பிய சொல் மருமத்தின் எரிவேல் பாய்ந்த கண்ணிலான் பெற்றிழந்தான் என உழந்தான் கடுந்துயரங் காலவேலான். எண்ணிலா வருந்தவத்தோன். There are many ways of seeing that phrase. Infinity things will come because of his tapas. Such a tapasvi is Vishwamitra. எண்ணில் ஆவருந்தவத்தோன். If we think of his story, for Kamadhenu, he did all these tapas. And again and again to attain the Brahma Rishi status, he underwent many hardships. So, Endil A Varuntavatto. So, like this, warrior Swami will go on and on. Such Vishwamitra, when he asked, Dasharatha felt like there is a wound in the heart, chest. And where there is already a wound, somebody again pierced it with arrows. And if one didn't have any eyesight, Kannilan, Petri Irandan, somehow by God's grace he got his eyesight. How much happy he will feel. But if suppose he'll lose it again, how much pain it will be. So that much pain Dasharatha underwent. Kannilan petri ilandan ena ulandan kadunduyaram kalavelan. So then Vashishta told him, he is a ocean of vidyas. Dhanur Vidya. Vishwamitra is a ocean of Vidya. He is a great teacher. So if you send your son with him, you are going to benefit it, your son is going to benefit it. Why are you opposing that proposal? Please send your son with him. Then when the Kula Guru Vashishta told, Dasharatha half-heartedly accepted. But wherever Rama goes, Lakshmana also goes along with him. So Rama and Lakshmana together went along with Vishwamitra. So on the way, Vishwamitra was explaining them the situation, ground realities, what are all the hardships they are facing, the rishis were facing. So among them one is, there is a Tataka, who is a Yakshini. So there are some varieties of living beings mentioned in our literature. Gandharva, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Daitya, Asuras and so on. There is a wife called Diti. The sons born out of her are called Daityas. And the elder one was called Aditi, The sons born out of her, the children born out of her are called Adityas. They are all Daksha Prajapati's daughters, married to Kashyapa Prajapati, Kashyapa Rishi. So there is one Tanu, her children are called Tanavas. So in that way it goes. So she is one variety of species, race, whatever you may call it. But we were aware of there are many different people in the world apart from human beings. Even science says there were we are called Homo sapiens, I suppose. Homo erectus species were there in the Western Europe. They were very tall, 8 feet or so, maybe even more. And the old constructions all over the world shows very tall people lived in the world, whether it is South America or in the China or in India. Huge structures, Egypt. Such huge structures can be built only by huge human beings whom we call as asuras, rakshasas. There is the research is going on, and some people are telling these are all constructed by aliens, came from different gragas. Okay, it is their liberty, whatever they want they can say. Anyhow, this is Yaksha Tataka. Suketu was her father's name. And he didn't have any children, so he did tapas, and Brahma gave his boon. So Tataka took birth. And she was having 1,000 elephants, mighty. And she was given in marriage to a Sunda, another demon. And he rubbed with Agastya Rishi. So Agastya is very powerful. You know, already I have told you, Vadapi was killed by Agastya when we were seeing Mahabharata itself. So Agastya killed him. So she was very much annoyed. She tried to kill Agastya. He had a son, Maricha. This Maricha is important. In further stories he will come also. So Tataka's son is Maricha. So they both were trying to harm Agastya. So he cursed her. So she lost her good looking, and she lost her way of life also. Then she was living in those area nearby Ayodhya. She was giving trouble to rishis. So she is one among them who is giving trouble to Vishwamitra. Then of course Maricha, Subahu, and so on. Then while they were proceeding, Tataka came to disturb them, harm them. Then Rama was little bit reluctant because she is a woman. So Rama was little bit reluctant to kill her. But when Vishwamitra insisted, then as I have told already in previous classes, Aptavakyam is pramana for us. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shruti. Shruti means otherwise known as Aptavakyam. So when rishis say something, even if it is not reconcilable with our intellect, we have to obey the rishis. So Rama obeyed Vishwamitra. So he killed Tataka. Then they proceeded to their yajna place and they started the preparation of the yajna. Then Vishwamitra taught Rama many astras and Bala, Adipala mantras, so that without dozing off, getting sleep, they can stay awake for days together. And without food, they can be healthy and powerful. So those are called Bala Adipala mantras. So before starting his Yajna Yaga, he prepared Rama and Lakshmana in this warfare. So they were ready. Vishwamitra also was ready. Is there any question?
Swamiji,
Yes.
question here. Just now you were telling about Shringa, Rishi Shringa, and then Shanta, the daughter.
Yeah.
How would Kadhi position now? They were how Aish was sent out and all those things, and the Kadhi clear then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, nice to connect it. I feel like
Because in Mahabharata, we branched so much.
Yeah.
So
This one I think is relevant because Dasharatha's daughter, Shanta,
yeah,
is given away and
Romapada was the name of the king, Dasharatha's friend. So it was quite common in those days. You see in Mahabharata also Kunti was given to Kunti Bhoja, Vasudeva's sister. So whoever don't have female children, it is not they don't have children. If somebody has only male children, they want to have a female children, then they adopt from their relatives or friends. This is very common in those days. If one don't have male children, they will adopt male children. Then they have female children, they will adopt female children also. There is no, what we say, male chauvinism and all. If they don't have children, or if they don't want to have more children also, already they may be having. If they don't want to have more children also, they will adopt from the nearby people. Adoption was very common. So in that way, Romapada was friend of Dasharatha. So Dasharatha gave his daughter Shanta to Romapada. So in the Romapada kingdom, there was a famine. For quite a long time, nothing could be done. So he was very much fond of rain. When he consulted his ministers, they suggested there is only one way. There is a rishi called Rishi Shringa, but he was living in a forest without knowing anything about outside world. His father was very much cautious that his son should not know the outside world. Maybe when he took birth, his birth chart might have shown something. So, like Buddha was taken care of by his father, this Rishi Shringa also was taken care of by his father. So he didn't know there is a outside world. He was in the forest. Then this Romapada sent people to distract him, to bring him to the country from the forest, and he could succeed. So when he entered the country, he didn't do any puja yajna. When he entered the country itself, rain started coming, pouring. So, as a gift, there are many types of marriages in our culture. Arsha, Prajapatya, Daiva, Gandharva, and so on. Some 8 variety. So, he is a Ritvik. So, Ritvik can be given our daughter in marriage. So, Ramapada gave his daughter Shanda in marriage to Rishyashringa. So, in a way, Dasharatha has some adhikara to ask daughter's husband, மாப்பிள்ளைய கூப்பிடுறதுக்கு ஒரு அதிகாரம் இருக்கு. So, Dasharatha asked him to do the yajna, Ashwamedha yaga. Then he did. And he succeeded in that also. And Dasharatha got male children also. This is the basic essence of the story. Anything more?
No, so disconnected, you know. But also the Dasharatha had a problem, you know. The daughter, if she lives with him, no? Shanta.
That part I don't know. I may need to refer.
So something like that. And then that's why he had to how they give the child to somebody else so that it doesn't affect. Because he himself has got no children, you know. Then why should he give up? So there was something, I can't recollect. I've read somewhere, I do not know if it's right or wrong. Just check something.
Okay.
Something like that, I think so.
I have gone through to some extent, but this point I have not come across. I will again verify.
There are so many different things.
Yes, we have a vast literature, so we have many varieties of versions. Yes, Hariom.
Swamiji, can I know why he didn't get? He gave his daughter because another king didn't have daughter. Why didn't he also take a son from another king instead of doing the Ashwamedha yaga? Do they not give away sons or their daughters?
No, they give away sons too. Recently, I came to know. This is a version to be verified. A researcher only told this. Bharata is in the Chandravamsa. There was a king called Dushyanta, and Dushyanta, Shakuntala, their son is Bharata. So generally it is believed because of him only the land is called Bharata Varsha and so on. That is debatable because there were many Bharatas. Rama's brother, younger brother also is a Bharata. And Bharata means there is a different meaning also, which is reveling in spiritual knowledge. Bharata. That meaning also is there. So anyhow, he is a very important person, very good king. So he had some children, but he was not satisfied with his children. He didn't feel his children are fit to be kings after him. So he didn't appoint any one of his children as king after him. So one version is the first voting system started from there. So republicly he elected a person. So that person became the king after Bharata. there is one story. This comes in Ramayana serial of P.R. Chopra. In India, there was a Ramayana serial. In that, this version comes. Bharata didn't give his sons the kingdom, but he chose from the consensus of public, he chose a person and made a king. So then question comes, what happened to his children? So the researcher says, the Chola kings says they are descendant of Ikshvakula, and they claim this Dushyanta lineage also. So in that they say one of the son of Bharata came to south. He established a kingdom here that later came to known as Chola kingdom. And this is one thing. So this is some way of adoption. Then in Pallava kingdom also there were adoption. I suppose when we were talking about Mahabharata, the son were given to Malaysia or Sumatra or something. Pallava king went there in that way. And there are many more instances to my knowledge. King's sons are also given. When one person didn't have sons, then sons were given in adoption. There is a word in Manusmriti called Datta, who will share the wealth of father. Some 6 type of sons are enumerated in Manusmriti. One among them was Datta. Datta means who was adopted son. I told this in Mahabharata, I suppose. So adopted son is a concept. He is given equal right to the son. So there are adopted sons. So these are all the evidences we get from different books. And even now, around me, I see this culture. There are families who adopt son. I was previously in some other ashram. Nearby, there were 2 sisters. One sister had 2 daughters. Another sister had 2 sons. So they exchanged one child. One male child this side, one female child to that side. So both have one male and one female. So in that way they exchanged. So even now they are alive, the family is there. So these are the very common practices we follow from our ancestors. In our place, actually, female children are welcome. They are welcomed because female children will have the right above the male children in the property. So whether the society wants female children or not is, if there is a advantage in having female children, then the society will take the advantage. So the female children will have a say over the property than the male children. Male children can be given, may not be given also. This is called Marumakkal Vali in this district, Kanyakumari. Even the king follows this. King's son won't become the next king. His sister's son will become the next king. In Thiruvidampur Samsthanam, you may Google and know more. Truvankur, kingdom of Thiruvananthapuram, where the Adike Anandashayana Thiruvananthapuram Padmanabha Swami temple belongs to the king. So in that tradition, this came, then some people, citizens also started following that. They are known as Marumakkal Vali. Then in Muslims, according to the Quran, you have to pay money and get married to the girl's family. Even in Sri Ramakrishna's life we see, he married to Sharada Devi in her 5th year because she was the cheapest bride he could get. Because he was very poor, Ramakrishna family was very poor. So with the money he could get only 5-year-old Sharada Devi. So they paid Sharada Devi's family, then get her married. So even in India, we see the custom. So India means a supermarket. I don't know whether such concept are available in Malaysia. Supermarket means in India, you will get varieties of things. From shampoo, soap onwards, rice, mustard, salt, everything you get in one place. That is called supermarket here. So in India, you will get every aspect of life, every variety of culture. So it is wrong to infer that this is only Hinduism. Hinduism is male chauvinistic and so on. That is, they don't see the complete picture of Hinduism or Indian tradition. Hope I have